Hey guys, welcome to Traditional Bow Hunting Wilderness Podcast. Jason Samkovic here, and I am back in Georgia. We have beautiful Georgia swamp here, and I am back in Georgia now, and went out and hunted this morning with my wife. We did not get into any pigs, but it's usually the way it goes. It takes us a couple days to usually find where they are. Pigs are nomadic. They're moving. We don't live here, so we have to come and go on a regular, we come down here a couple times a year, and like I said, you never know where they're at, so it takes some time to find them, find a sign, that kind of stuff. We were in a good area this morning, but we stuck around. We did about 5 hours this morning, and then my wife decided she wanted to go back to camp and get some stuff done there and set up at the camper, so I'm coming out for the rest of the afternoon on my own solo. And heading down to a swamp that's down here I got about a mile and 1.16 miles according to Onyx. Before I get to the area, I want to really dive in and start hunting hard. And I'm going to work it and see what we can find out. But we are here. We are here for about 9 days this time. Where most trips have been like 3-day trips. This year we're doing a few more. a few more days, so very excited, and first day out we're gonna see what happens, so stick around. One thing to keep in mind when you're pig hunting, rainy days are not always good days. Okay, we had an inch of rain come in last night. It's been raining all morning. It's still drizzling right now on me, but when it rains, yes, you can walk real quiet through here, but so can the pigs. And I would venture to say that of all the pigs that I have found in here, not that I'm an expert, I've been down here like 6 times in my whole life, killed one pig, but I see a lot of pigs. Most of the time with those pigs, I would say at least half of them, I hear them, and that leads me to be able to sneak into where they are. So having it loud out here, loud leaves, that kind of stuff where you can hear them is much better. You can always find quiet places to walk. The water's edge, the road, whatever you want to do, but you need, being able to hear them is a definite gold mine. Sometimes you can hear them, grunting and things like that. Only a couple times have I had that, but I usually can hear them walking, and that can get me over to where they are. Right now, it is dead silent out here, so it's all eyes. I can only use my eyes, and as you can see, pretty thick stuff in here, so it makes it a lot more complicated. So dry weather, in my opinion, better than wet weather, unless you already know where you're going, like you live here, something like that. So there you go. Those are pig beds right under that big palmetto. The pig bed right under there, just tucked in there. You'd never know they were there. I didn't see any there, but you would never be able to see that in this type of a place here. No possible way that you would have been able to see him. They tuck right into that stuff so well. Tell me those stumps don't really screw with you. This is why you always got to wear binoculars. I mean, tell me that doesn't look like a pig right there, just floating out here in the middle of everything. Out here in the swamp. But if you were coming through right here and walking right up through that, and from over there like I just did, you saw this, you'd be thinking pigs. Alright, well, that's the end of day 1 here, and no pigs. I did cover a lot of ground, and that's what it is. It's a process of elimination. Like I said, I could go into the same exact places I've hunted before where I've seen pigs and never see a pig there again. It's not like there's always specific areas. Like I said, maybe if you lived here and you could understand the terrain a little better and things like that, maybe you got some hot spots. But for me, not living here, it's a process of elimination, just like this. Today, I did 8.7 miles between this morning with Tina and here, which is kind of high because I'm able to, because it's so soggy and soaked. It's been raining all day. I've been able to move very fast today. So that's been kind of a nice feature. Usually I average about 6 to 7. If I'm with, or if I'm by myself and with Tina, usually about 5, because we got to go real slow with her. And then after I drop her off and come back, I lose an hour and 40 minutes in there doing that. So, but like I said, excellent exercise. 44 degrees, so kind of chilly today and rainy. I am soaked all the way through here. But like I said, good day. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Be back again, and we'll see what goes on. All right. Fresh pig poop means we're on the right track. We like it. All right, we got pigs right over there. Hoping you can see them in there. There they go. see him walking. We're gonna try and sneak up on him, but we got pigs right over there. See what we can do. We have like 10 hawks. There's like 10 of them there. Bedded down, hidden behind the thing. Yeah, look at how open. I gotta figure out how to get to them. But they are all right there. There's like 8, 10 of them in there. Okay, we're at about, I'm gonna say we're probably 50 yards, 45, 50 yards. Trying to close that distance. They're all over there. Look at them all. Like I said, we're about 45, 50 yards. I think I'm gonna have to let them make the next move. I'm gonna have to wait for them to feed into cover. Or just move out of that open enough to where I can try and close in on them. But right now they are just, I have nothing between me and them. I got nothing I can do. I'm gonna have to wait for them to do something that gives me a chance to close this distance. But I have 0 space here. I am out of cover options. They will bust me immediately. So we're gonna have to wait and see what they end up doing. They're actually fighting each other behind that tree. Alright, we're gonna try and close that distance since they're moving around over there. Look at them two fighting. How funny. Alright, let's see what we can do. Right on. Alright, well, we shot a pig. Looks like that hit was right in the middle of the body. I could see which way he was. I couldn't tell where the leg was. I was kind of shooting for where I thought, you know, right there was a log in front of him. And, but I knew, I'm like, okay, well, we want to be towards the front right there. And I shot, I think it was about mid-body that I hit him. And he made a circle. I heard him, you know, the arrow blew through and he took off and went around. And he stopped, I don't know, maybe 30 yards. And I heard him crash. And then some other pigs were over there too, and I could hear them like fighting for a second. And I went and took a look over there, and that pig's over there. I can hear it roar, roar, roar. So it's probably a gut shot, I'm guessing. But I marked the spot, and we're gonna come back in the morning. He was in this stuff. I was within, I don't know, 15 yards, but I had to find a little window in there. And he finally walked right through a gap. I'm not over there right now. But it was like a little gap like that. And I was able to put that arrow in there. So we shall see what happens in the morning. But might have a pig down. I'm pretty hopeful and excited, so we'll see. All right, we are back at the truck. Just got back here. Took the long way out. Ended up going because I did not want to screw that area up. What an amazing area. And but you guys saw that I had 5 or 8 big pigs and a bunch of piglets. I don't know what was going on in there, but you saw them out there in that open. I couldn't get closer than 50 yards. I was stuck. I mean, it was just pure open and I couldn't do nothing, and eyes everywhere. So I decided to wait them out. Finally, they broke into that river cane. That river cane is about that tall, and they broke in there. As soon as they broke in there, I hurried up across that clearing, got up in there where I could try and hear where they were. I heard them, and then so I started moving. Then I'd move, listen, and it's so hard to walk through that. It's basically, imagine cattails, but jammed. It's like walking through cattails, basically, skinny cattails. They're just as bad, and they're tall, and it's miserable, and you can't even fit your bow through there and wiggle through. It was a nightmare. So anyway, but I'm hearing them. And they're getting further away. I'm not keeping up with them. So finally I said, you know what? They're making noise. They're going like crazy in there. They're not going to hear me coming. So I hightailed it, man. I moved quickly through there, just busting things, snapping things. I'm like, they'll think I'm a pig. So I do that in like 10-yard spurts. Like I'd snap, crack, pop, pop through 10 yards. And then I'd stop and listen. I'm like, okay, they're still moving. I can hear them. Smash, 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 another 10 yards. I'm like, okay, I can still hear them. Got going again. And then all of a sudden I heard one, when I stopped, I heard one, you know, shake and his ears flap. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, oh, they're right here, you know, and I couldn't see.
but I could hear them, and then I could hear the other ones, and I'm like, God, that sounds like the other ones are moving. I got to go closer. So then I do it in like, 2 or 3 step increments. Crash, 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 snap my way through there, stop. I couldn't shoot, I couldn't do nothing. And then I could see the pigs. Just barely get glimpses of them through there. I'm like, okay, it looks like there might be a small opening. So I went forward a little bit more. Sure enough, I got into a spot where I had a big enough zone that I could actually knock an arrow and shoot without hitting anything, but it was still tight, wiggling through, and but I had a couple little spots. I could see those pigs. I'm like, if one of them steps over here, there's a log laying there. And this pig came across this way, and it's working right on the other side of that log, rooting on the back side of that log. I'm like, oh, perfect. Head down. That log is right at, just about body high. And I'm like, this is perfect right there. So I waited for that pig to get over far enough. I was already set, ready, and it kept going. As soon as it gave me a shot past this palmetto, and then before this palmetto, so I had it right between. As soon as his head went down there, I just drew back. Shot probably 16 yards, I'm guessing, 15, 16 yards, somewhere in there. That arrow zipped. It looked like it went right through, but when I walked over there, I did not find an arrow. So maybe it went all the way through and she carried it for a little bit, or he did. I'm not 100% sure, but anyway, I shot that pig. And then crash, 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 and I can see the river cane going, and it's crashing, and it's squealing, and it went about 30 yards, 35 yards, and everything went quiet over there. There's pigs running around everywhere, but that went quiet. So I look at it right there. I'm like, okay, I noted this tree. I've just drew the knot hole on it, and I'm like, boom, memorized it. So I knocked another arrow. I'm waiting to see if any of these other pigs come by. They're not giving me a chance. They're not coming into this spot. And then so I'm like, okay, so I'm just stood there and waited it out to see if a pig would come in or what to do. So I waited about a half hour, and then I walked over there. Now it's almost dark, and then I walked over there, and couldn't find my arrow. I didn't look real hard, but I couldn't find my arrow right there by that log. And I didn't find any blood right there. So I'm like, okay, well, I marked that spot. I'm like, I heard that crash. She did this little loop like this and was 30, 35 yards away, 260 as a crow flies on the compass. I'm like, all right, perfect. So I walked over, started heading over that way real slow. And I heard what sounded like a pig breathing, And I'm thinking, you know what, maybe that was a one lung hit. Either way, I decided to back out. So I'm going to go in and check it in the morning, see what happens. It's going to be low 40s tonight, or upper 30s, low 40s tonight. So I think it'll be all right. I'm going to risk it anyway, but I wasn't going to try. Like I said, I couldn't, that stuff was so thick. I couldn't, where that pig, he or she is, I couldn't walk to within 5 yards of it and still see it. It's that thick in there. So we'll see tomorrow morning, and I'll keep you in a loop. We'll let you know what happens. So, all right, stand by. All right, we are back in here right now. Just got in here. You saw last night that group of pigs that I was with, and ended up waiting, doing like I said I was going to do in a video, and waiting for them to get into that river cane. Once they were in that river cane, I figured I could try and get in closer to them, but I couldn't stalk them in that open area. It just wasn't possible. They got into the river cane. I bounced in there right after them, and I told you last night when I was by the car how I went about it, and then I got that shot about 16 yards, and here's the results right here. We have our pig right there, and a nice little pig, and like I said, I'm quartering away shot. There's the entrance right there's the entrance. Came out just by a shoulder, but probably was one lung like I thought. And but anyway, found him right here. But look at this stuff. Look at how thick this is. Off that pig was there. It was actually tucked right up into there was where it was laying at. And Tina's the one that actually found it. She said, is that a pig there? Talking about these logs that are down here on the ground. She said, is that a pig? And we walked over to look, and she said, oh no, it's just logs. And then I seen them laying right there. So a little boar pig, and pretty good size, little medium pig, but going to be fantastic. And we are going to get him processed and get him out of here. But like I said, look at this stuff. I mean, here, I'll stand here. Let me show you an example of this so that it makes sense to you. But I mean, this stuff is insane. I mean, this stuff is crazy thick in here, and super loud with the palmettos in here. When you touch palm, this stuff, river cane's pretty easy. It's a little noisy when you move it. Move palm. This stuff, when your legs hit this, I mean, it's loud. It's brutal. So, all right, here we go. It is, I killed that pig, not yesterday, but the day before. But we killed that pig, and then me and Tina went out that evening
once we got that pig and got it out of there, we went and just did some family stuff for the day. And then we went back out that evening, and she never saw nothing. We went back into that same area hoping maybe I'd catch up with the rest of those pigs. We never did. And then yesterday was a rainy day, and she didn't want to hunt, so we went and checked out a couple other WMAs, drove around, checked things out, see what we think, look for any sign there, that kind of stuff. And then now she didn't want to come out this morning because it's raining again this morning. So I'm going to hunt this morning and then go back and get her this afternoon. So I got the morning to myself. We're going to see what happens and hitting a whole new area. And we're going to see what kind of pig sign we can find. So, all right, stick around. Pigs can be anywhere. They're not real picky, but they do like cover. This is some of my favorite pig hunting stuff. Like I said, it gives you good cover to move in on them, keep you out of sight. I'm really hoping we see something in here. I got a lot of rooting, a lot of sign. We're going to see what happens. We got pretty good fresh pig rooting, fresh tracks coming through here. Look at this. That's what we like to see. That's the stuff we're looking for. That's the kind of rooting we're looking for. Fresh, right there. Remember, we got almost an inch of rain last night. It's noon right now. That is the kind of stuff we are after right there. Good heavy pig rooting. All right, there we go. Found him. Nice little boar right there. I move my bow. I was just taking pictures, which I'll insert in here. You guys will see in a few minutes, but I was taking pictures, but there he is right there. Yep, what a cool looking hog. Look at how cool that pig is. That is just amazing. And nice pig. Entry hole. Whoops. Entry holes right there low. Exit hole coming out right there. And look at all that coming out of there. Single bevel, 2 blade broadheads, man. Look at that. They clog quite a bit, actually. I've noticed that. They're clogging a lot on these animals, but that was that shot right there and out there. Right like that. Whoop. Just like that. And she's been dead for, he's a boar. He's been dead for a little while. He's been laying there. And like I said, I just came through blood trail. Anyway, we got a pig down. Second pig down. Number 2. And done with my brand new, again, if you can see it there, it's probably getting dark, but brand new. I just got this bow yesterday. I had Steve ship it to me here in Georgia because I knew I'd be down here rather than him ship it to me back in Michigan. He shipped it to me. And I took my string off my old bow and my quiver and everything and set it up. We went out. I shot about 100 arrows out of it yesterday. Spot on perfect, and took it hunting today. And we have pig number 2 on the ground that I got to figure out. I got to get it gutted and get it out of here because I'm going to bone this out and take care of it. But I'm going to probably do it on my tailgate. This one's not that huge to be a nightmare to drag out of here. And I'm probably going to do that just so, because I don't have my frame pack here. Otherwise, it's multiple trips back to the car. So I'm going to just gut them out, try and get them to the road. Going to try and make this happen here anyway. Thanks again. Talk to you soon.